Hello there, friends. All right, we got an interesting flight this evening. I'm enjoying that I'm getting a little break from reality. I'm going to be eating a cheese stick in front of you and enjoying some beverages. So I cannot guarantee the status of this live stream for any, what's the words I'm looking for? ASMR or anything for the next few minutes. I hope we have an understanding. Okay. So if you look in the top left corner, you'll see that we now own a Pleiades PC-6 Turbo Porter. This plane is capable of carrying 3,000 pounds. The beauty, is that we can carry quite a few different jobs at once. And that is exactly what's happening here. So, my mouse is stupid. Hold, please. Drat, come on now. Let me switch mice. I need to just throw that mouse away, but it's a nice one. A proper ball mouse, but it's obviously terrible. All right, so, excuse me. Here's the story. We will be flying from KMOD. We're going to fly to KSTS on a mission that we have to have completed as quickly as possible. Then we're going to fly to KMCE, where we have a, what do you call it? A very sensitive product to deliver. Then we're going to fly it to KSAC with another sensitive product to deliver. And did I mention we're going to have a passenger with us from KMOD all the way to HM. And finally, the worst part of the whole thing is I am flying my nemesis, a tail dragger. You heard it here, folks. Now, before we get going here, I'm going to make a pretty serious change. We will be taking Iceman off of our Cub airplane, which has a load capability of 912 pounds. We will be moving Iceman to this plane, my Beechcraft Bonanza, which I just flew the other night. We just purchased it or rented it, and it was great. But yes, so let's go here. We're going to go find Iceman. Iceman? He's still flying. So yeah, we're going to take Iceman. We will move Iceman to a new location, and we're going to put him in the Beechcraft Bonanza. It's going to cost us $1,600, but that's fine. Now that we have him here, now we'll go ahead and stick him in there. Now, all of my pilots, I have literally logged in remotely into this computer so that I can continue to have them flying throughout the day. And as you can see, they were all really tired. So, once everyone's landed, we're going to leave them alone and let them relax. And maybe they have already landed. Yes, everyone has landed, but the other reality is they have their planes assigned to them. In saying that, this Cub Crafter plane, which does carry quite a bit of weight, is no longer useful to us. 912 pounds, so let me look through here really quick. 900 pounds can be carried by the Diamond A40. So maybe I need to move Berlin over to our Cub Crafter plane. But it's only a 12-pound difference with one passenger, where we can carry 3 passengers on the DA40. So my original thought is going to happen. We're going to go ahead and return our rented aircraft for $24,000. It'll be sad to see it go. I wish I could get rid of this one. It's not letting me get rid of it. This is a trainer vehicle. We have to fly to OL05 to actually do that trainer vehicle. We could actually bring it to our pilot location. Plane cannot be transferred with jobs. Very unfortunate. So right now we have all of our planes sitting at around 900 pounds. So 991, 1,200, 1,050, 900. So our weakest plane is actually the Diamond, which is interesting. And check this one out. Useful load, 3,070 pounds. With a range of 450 nautical miles, but a cruising speed pretty slow of 115. 110 for that one. 176 for my Bonanza, 171. It's amazing how this Bonanza has actually done better than my DA62. And I'm a big fan of my DA62. So there we go. So anyway, today, we're going to fly the Nemesis. I'm going to fly my Pleiades with 3 different jobs. 4 different jobs, technically. So it's going to be a very, very interesting flight. So starting off, we need to go ahead and import into our EFB our flight plan from my separate EFB computer that I have in my studio here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the flight planner, our route, and we're going to import from a PLN file. And we're going to load from this PC. Nice thing is I have my computers linked up, so they are communicating between each other. So all I need to do is go into my flight plans, find my latest flight plan of 6-1, and tell it to load it in. And here we go. Our flight plan is in for each individual airport. And you can see here, this is going to be quite an interesting night. As we take off here, fly to KSTS, this one, and finally land there. It's going to be quite an interesting night of flying. And I'm honestly looking forward to it. But we need to get our first leg started. And hang on just a second. Let's see, 16. Drat. There's a job that just came in, and unfortunately, July. Maybe I can pull this off. Sorry, guys. Business first. Always business first. June, July, 16. I'm so in. No, I'm not. Oh, no. That would be exhausting. I don't think I could do that. I'm going to sit on that thought for a minute. So let's keep focusing here. So that's a client who's wondering if I can work a certain day, and unfortunately that's with 2 ginormously huge days and a ton of travel directly after it. I don't know if I could pull that off. All right. Enjoy my cheese stick. Well, we set up our flight to KSTS. Now, the reason why I haven't loaded in is because the instant we do, the clock starts. So I'm very anxious to make sure that we can get in as quickly as possible and then take off immediately as we head towards KLHM. So let's go ahead and get in this plane. We haven't even figured out how to start this plane yet. I've never flown this plane before. Worst part, it's a tail dragger. We will be using real-world weather. Not sure what I'm dealing with in real-world weather, so let's go ahead and rewind back to roughly 8 a.m. Here we go.
Hello, Captain. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, too.
Pilot from dispatch. Please stand by.
Looks like clear skies today with the PC-6. This is going to be very interesting. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. We got full coverage going on here. Let me finish off this cheese stick, and we'll start getting this thing loaded up. All right. So, why is my flight simulator frozen? There we go. All right, well, it looks like it already removed my stuff there. We'll get the covers off.
Start your engine.
Does this have a cover? It's very interesting to see that bar sticking out. Okay, of course, where's our chucks? I guess we were tied off, so we don't need chucks, and they untied us. But I am checking through here. As you can see, this bird is actually made for skydiving. We won't be skydiving today. We'll be doing a ton of deliveries. But yes, this thing is built for skydiving and carrying an awful lot of weight, which I'm very thankful for. Okay. Oh my. Is that our GPS? There's no autopilot on this thing, is there? Oh no. Is there really no autopilot? Am I really flying this? Oh, please don't. Okay, wait a minute. That's comms. There's no autopilot. There's a GPS. There's technically 2 GPSs. Oh, I don't know about this. What's down here? ADF. Oh no. This sucker. Okay, what do I got? Oh no. We got prop control, we got mixture, and our throttle. Wow. Making sure that there aren't any other controls that I'm not aware of. Just checking through everything. Oh no. Oh my word, this plane is going to technically suck. Alright, well, we got work to do. Let's get things loaded up. This is gonna suck on so many levels. Interesting that we're not seeing our plane. Okay, baggage. Let's see how much baggage we have to carry. This is gonna suck. I mean, unless I can figure out a way. Oh man, I have taken on something terrible. All right. Overall weight that we're carrying today is 2,275. I'm just gonna stick that right in the middle of the plane and see what happens to us. So, 2,275. Load. Why does it say 2? Okay. 61%. We are so bad. So let's go ahead and see if we can balance this out. Let's put 500 pounds in here. Then we'll go up to the seats. And let's go ahead and put 200 pounds in here. Okay, let's put 200 pounds here. So we're going to have a bunch of skydivers in the back that are going to represent all the weight that we're carrying. Load the aircraft. Okay, we are missing a grand total of 1,015 pounds with no ability to do anything other than stick it in the cargo. I am going to need as much fuel as I can get, which is just going to make it worse, but we're going to go with it because we need as much as possible. Okay. And unfortunately, we're going to have to put the rest of this 1,015, so 1,515 in the back. And we're just going to deal with whatever weight we get. 1,515. I'm going to learn very quickly why I'm going to hate this. All right. 42 MAC versus 38. Oh, 55. Drat. Okay. I have no idea what that means. We're going to find out the hard way. This is going to stink. We're going to have a bunch of people who are not going to jump behind me. What is this? It doesn't say. Why is that still open? Okay. Remember, never flown this plane before. Fuel system valve closed. I would assume we might want that open. Okay. Slave. Not selectable. That's fine. So is this a plane where our controls are in the canopy? Negative. Everything's right here. So where is our starting system? I'm looking. This looks promising. What is this? Toggle cover position. Alternate nose on. Radio emergency radio master. Battery. It's not working. All right. Let me swap sides here so I can see it from Copilot. What on earth is going on here? All right. This is stupid. But in any case, let's get to work here. All right. Rotating beacon on. Pilot heat on. Navigation 2 on. Lights on. Cabin on. Let's go with lights. Landing position. Okay. So this is the one I want to turn on. There we go. Master avionics is turning on. Everything else, cockpit fan, is on. None of this is to my benefit. ELT is on. Ident is on. Okay, circuit breaker 24 volt or whatever is on. Let's see, interrupt cover position is on. Parking brake is on. What is this? Let's just turn these on. Booster pump, there we go. Ignition, here we go. And starter. All right. Plane's getting booted up.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for
Sierra
clearance.
India Mike Sierra 8022 with India. Request taxi for takeoff. North departure.
Sierra India Mike Sierra 8022. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 28 right via taxiway cross runway.
Oh man, this is gonna be rough.
Runway 28 right Bravo. Contact tower on 125.3 when ready.
This is gonna be really rough, guys.
Taxiing. Hold short runway 28 right via taxiway cross runway 10 right Alpha cross runway 28 right Bravo. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
Okay, so hold short runway 28R via taxiway cross runway 10R. Runway 28RB. What the heck? You're not going to give me problems, are you? She doesn't seem to be angry at the moment. We'll find out the hard way as we fly. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a really sucky flight, in my opinion. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay. So we are parked, and we need to go to runway 28R, which is completely on the other side of the field. That blows. All right, let's take a look at where we are. No one else is in our trajectory right now, so we are safe to begin moving. Let's go ahead and take off the... What the... Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, okay. This does not bode... What? Hang on. Hang on. What? Oh, no, this does not bode well at all. Don't you shut down on me. Oh, no. What did I not do? I mean, yes, I did cut my mix. Oh, no. I already do not like this plane at all. Alright, so apparently my, everything's off. So whatever my alternator was managing is dead. Oh, no. Restart. And that's probably going to include, loading my entire plane again. Oh, boy. All right, I didn't like how I started just rolling off into the middle of nowhere. Oh, boy. I'm going to hate this. I think I'm going to really hate this airplane. Just being honest, okay? Just being honest, because there does not seem to be any kind of autopilot in this thing. I mean, yes, it can carry 3,000 pounds, but, oh my word, I'm probably going to hate this thing. And considering that I have set myself up on a 3-airport hop, I really don't know how prepared I am to handle this. Okay. So, mixtures all the way in. Throttles all the way back, props all the way back. Swap sides so that I can see our controls here. I think we can turn on battery and radio. I don't like that it's not moving when I do that. Interesting. Something's wrong. Okay. See, I'm just clicking on it and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening there. Interesting. Can't say I love that. Now there's a pilot sitting out in front of my airplane. Lovely.
Modesto ground.
Everything looks good
Legacy
from where
Air
I'm
India
sitting.
Mike Sierra
Taxi to the runway
8022
and
with
take
India. Request taxi for takeoff. North departure.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 28 right via taxiway cross runway 10 right Alpha cross runway 28 right Bravo. Contact tower on 125.3.
Once again, this is probably going to deeply suck.
Taxiing. Hold short runway 28 right via taxiway cross runway 10 right Alpha cross runway 28 right Bravo. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
I'm going to learn to fly a very old airplane today. And yes, it has GPS, but I don't think it actually has the GPS that I would want. Okay, cargo, we're still missing 1,445 pounds. Okay. Load. We haven't even tried taking off on this thing yet. That's going to be like the worst part. All right. Direct to. Okay. There is no autopilot. This is going to be... Why on earth do we have two... Oh. OBS mode, CDI mode? Flight plan mode? Oh, thank goodness. Oh my word, I hope that's really what's going on. So KSTS is where we're going to be going. So let's go ahead and see if it'll let me do it. KS T and then S. All right. It reset on me, unfortunately. There's K. Hey now. KS T S. Enter, enter. All right, we got GPS on. Flight plan mode not available. That's interesting. So I'm hoping we can do CDI and OBS mode, which I think we'll end up setting here. There's our OBS down here. So we'll get there when we get there. I don't like the blinky lights. Low fuel. HL press. Let's see. I have no idea what that means. It probably doesn't mean anything good. Let's just try to get out of here as quickly as possible. Good. We're rolling, but we're not rolling nearly as bad as we did before. A little bit more RPM just for giggles to see if we move. Not really. A little bit of throttle. And a little bit of RPM. Much better. All right. A little bit more throttle. All right, this is going to be a really difficult flight. Whoa. So glitchy. And this is a runway right here, and we're not allowed to take off on this runway. But we are going to travel down it, which the wind better be that bad. But I have to travel down a runway to go to runway 28R. Did I miss my turn? I don't know. I'm just doing it anyway. No, I didn't. There it is. This is gonna suck, I assume. All right. Full throttle back. So, yes, we have GPS, but no, we have no idea what we're doing. And this is going to be rough. So, yes, while I am definitely excited that we are flying a plane that can carry 3,000 pounds, our center of gravity is so far off that we're going to have a murderous time just trying to take off. This is, I mean, this will simply be nasty, okay? This is literally the runway I got to take off on, but of course they want me to pass over the runway, to go down the runway, because we're only halfway there, to then continue down the runway on the opposite side. This is just engineering style thinking. And once again, I come back to the main factor that, as far as I can tell, we have no autopilot. We might have an OBS. We might have a CDI. But we're hand flying this thing to 4 different airports. That does not sound fun to me. Especially with the very limited engagement that I have with this aircraft. And boy, that's an understatement. I do like that I can see over my nose pretty well. Considering it's really huge. Alright, let's start applying brakes now before things go wrong. Oh man, this tail is so twitchy. Trying to land this thing is going to be such a menace. I hope I'm wrong, but I have bad vibes.
Modesto Tower, Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022, ready at runway 28 right, departure to the north. Legacy Air India.
Okay, we're
For
approved.
takeoff, runway 28 right, Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
Alright, flaps are down to 10 degrees. I do not know our rotation angle. Here we go. Check my trim. Really hoping it's not reversed. Whoa, no telling. Oh, it is reversed.
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe.
Will do. Alright, so my normal favorite trim is reversed, so I do not want to try and deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my flight yoke, which will compensate for that. See if I can pull back our torque a little.
Modesto Tower, Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022, continue for north departure.
Alright, let's see if we can level out. Flaps are up. I don't think that our landing gear can go up. I don't recall, but I don't believe so. Alright, I'm going to be dedicating every bit of attention to my GPS and to my EFB to do these flights, because there is just no way I'm going to be able to do this by myself. I'd like to try, but long story short, this is going to be a royal pain. Let me make that perfectly clear. Because our first flight is 103 nautical miles completely by hand, unless I can figure out some kind of autopilot in this thing, and I truly, truly doubt it. So first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for a VOR. I mean, yes, I have GPS units, but they're simply there to point me in the general direction. Let me go ahead and set my trim up here a little better. Looking for a VOR. Whoops. And not really seeing any.
Modesto Tower, Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022, frequency change.
Alright, we got a VOR.
NorCal approach, Legacy Air India
Why does
Mike
this say
Sierra
113.x
8022 is type Pilatus.
or 113x? I've never seen that before.
2200.
Let's try this
Turn
one,
west flight following.
which is CRT
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra
at 117.0. So that's what we're going to try for, 117.0.
Squawk 6031, Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
Alright, so I got to figure out how to program in my comms. CDI, VLOC. Let's see, that's comms.
Roger.
That's
Legacy Air
nav.
India Mike
Where
Sierra
is my
8022.
nav volume? Dang, my plane is just not liking where I'm flying. I am not enjoying this.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Traffic in sight.
What is this? That says navigation. Alright, still gotta turn a bit more. comm frequency, nav frequency. Why isn't that allowing it? Nav volume, OBS, message, flight plan, VNav. I hate everything about this. Honestly, I do. Okay, what is this? That's how to swap. How would I change it? It's clear. Alright, I'm in a rough trajectory, but the plane keeps leaning very seriously to the left on me, and I'm trying to correct it with my trims. It was turning to the right, excuse me, not to the left. I am very thankful to say the plane's flying, because I was concerned about our center of gravity, because we are carrying 3,000 pounds. So there is that. What is this? Why does that say Alt? That's not... That's an ident. That's not an autopilot. So I was wondering if we had anything down here. ADF. ADF frequency. No idea what this is. Oh man, this stinks. Because I have yet to find... Because that's comms. I need navigational comms. Keep getting off of my VOR. Where's this one? Crew volume. Alright, nav 1. On. That's to receive audio, though. That's not to program it. Oh boy.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
I mean, yes, I'm flying, but I am not enjoying a minute of this. And this is something where I can't exactly sim rate this either. VLOC 10.50. So VNav, CDI, comm frequency, nav frequency. So that's swapping it. That's changing my comms. I don't like to see those changing shadows because it makes me think that the plane's doing something I'm not in control of. Right now, I feel like I'm not seeing the horizon line very well. It's a Beechcraft? That's interesting. At least it has a Beechcraft gauge. That's what I'm noticing. Trying my best not to overfly our VFR while still, or VOR, while trying to program this plane. Right now this plane is just nightmare fuel for me. Oh my gosh, we are 90 degrees to our VOR. I mean, I keep seeing the shadows change, but this is a nightmare. And none of these navigation systems are allowing me to make changes. Because this looks like it could represent nav 1 and nav 2. Nav 2 volume, nav 1 volume. So I have the gist. So if the setting that I need is not there, I mean, we got KSTS programmed in, which is good. Great. I am selling this plane. I am selling this plane. We are getting out of this thing. This thing is ridiculous. I hate everything about this plane. I detest this plane. Seriously detest this plane. Don't understand. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. We are getting rid of this plane. Not even a chance. No, I give up. I absolutely give up. Snowball's chance in hell that I want to deal with that. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I will get rid of this plane immediately. Guess what? The engine's not running. Okay, so take that plane and put it in the garbage can immediately. Like now. Ugh, I just don't. I mean, give it to someone else to fly. I do not want to deal with this thing. How do I not... What plane do I need to be in? I mean, we don't have any other planes, right? I've sold off everything else I have. I cannot even begin. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to OL05 because I'm just that ticked off. And once I get to OL05, then I am going to hop in that trainer, and that way I can just get out of the plane. Will it let me get out of the plane? Like, can I just get out of the plane? Nope. Aircraft is airborne. No. Absolutely not. Not. I do not want this. So we're going to go OL05. Ooh. What if I do this? Let's just reboot the simulator, shall we? I hate that plane. Tail draggers are just proving to be the worst planes for me. I know I'm probably messing it up. I'm certainly messing it up, but every tail dragger that I've flown so far, with exceptions, but so far, I have detested every effort of flying tail draggers in this. Ugh. All right, I am selling this thing so fast. Not selling it, just returning it. Take your plane, give me back my money, let's go. Because your plane stinks. All right. Just absolutely the worst. Now, I don't have an airplane. All my pilots have airplanes right now. Let's look at their health. Yeah, none of these guys are going to be flying anytime soon. They need to properly rest. So none of them are going to be flying. It's only me. That Pleiades, I am never, ever picking up that Pleiades again. I am certain it's just down to my training in that plane. But, oh my word, no. Absolutely not. Now, PC-12? No, that's new. I can't afford that. So what plane am I going to fly to limp by for a while? What's an affordable limpable plane? Let's go do a search. This is going to take a second because this kind of freaks out the system as you put in one letter and it basically looks up every aircraft available for sale across the globe. Let's see what we got. Sure, I'd love to pick one of these up, but it's $126 million. And if you want to rent it, it's $12 million. So the math isn't quite there for me, you know. Now, and I want a bigger plane. I really, really do. Like a 208. 208 would be a great plane. Deposit of 244. Technically, I could try to pull that off. Useful load, 3,400 pounds. This is actually an interesting plane to me. Now, I actually would want one of these more. Oh, no, that's a 172. I would like a 208, 252. I doubt that any of these 208s have a GPS unit in them, though. They're all skydive units. I love these cargos. 240? That's totally doable. We'll be broke. Oh, but it's a medic. Not this one. This one's not a medic. It's an ugly plane, but it's not a medic. All right, 208's a possibility. I don't want floats. 208 standard passenger. For a rental, 311. Why is it so much more expensive? 312, 304. All right, we're probably going to get a 208. I would love to get this. I love my TBMs, but they Their rental is 369,000. We are definitely not there yet. My DA-62, we already got one. It's flying fine. I would like something with a bit more oomph. What do we got here? PC-12. 294. It's still a little out of our league. 280. It is so close in our league. But look at our payload, 2,700. Just not quite there. King Air, 810. Citation, 1,000,000. All right, I think we're going to try that 208. Let's try the 208. Which is incredibly expensive, but plane's in great condition. Doing it. 49,000 is all we have left. Hangar at 2CN4. I'm going to see if we can transport that to me. Bring this aircraft to pilot for $3,000. Totally. Legacy Air. 208B cargo. That's cool. All right, let me see what we can do now, because this changes everything. I kind of hate that it does that. 11,000. We can't take on the 2,000 cargo. We can absolutely do this one. Okay. See if we can take on any more. We can take a passenger. Okay. Anything else? Nope, think that's about it. Yeah, that's it. We got a full load. So let's go ahead and go to KMOD. We got to get the plane, which is the 208 cargo. And hopefully this one will do a bit better. I feel like I would be able to fly that one a lot better, but we're going to find out. So we're going to look up the 208B. It's a Cessna. Cessna Skywagon Grand Caravan 208B. Okay, and we're going to go to configure. Beautiful plane. And we're going to do our variant. Cargo. And I'm hoping we can get a different livery, because that's pretty ugly. This is the one that they want me to have, and that is disgusting. I like dark liveries or plain liveries, one or the other. That one. Disgusting. Or that one. Let's try that one. Can't say I love it, but it's about how she flies. K-Mod. All right. Let me go ahead and program my EFB over here. It does take a second. So we're going to be going from K-Mod, and we're going to delete all these other flight. So you guys can't see. I have a computer over here on the side. It's a little Surface Pro that's ancient, but allows me to have little nav map on a separate computer. And this separate computer unit is connected via a server to my main computer. So I can control everything. I can create a flight plan and then send it in. So that's what we're doing right now. So it's going to be boring for a minute. KMRY. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and send that into our flight plan. There we go. And then let's go ahead and add KMER. None of this is time sensitive, so I can just go ahead and go with what the flight plan randomly does. Let me take a look at my screen here. So, KMod, it's only 24 nautical miles to KMER, and then we'll do the long flight of 78 nautical miles, which is really not that long to KMRY. So let's go ahead and file. We're going to export the flight plan. That saves it to my online server. Now we'll pull up the EFB. Let's go to our routes. Import our route, load plan. Load from this PC. And we can go ahead and do documents, not databases. Flight plans, and then just look at the most recent flight plan. All right, here we go. And there we are. We are programmed in. Okay. All right, so KMOD, and we're flying to KMER first. All right, let's go ahead and weird. KMOD, and we're going to be in ramp small. This is smaller aircraft. KMER, start flight. It should be a really small hop, just 24 nautical miles. We are carrying a grand total of 2,359 pounds. We need to program in an additional 2,189 into our aircraft. So hopefully we can just put the majority of that in the belly. Once again, new plane. No idea how to fly it. No idea how to boot it. There's some general dynamics that I can probably figure out, but we're going to find out the majority of this fairly quickly. All right, that's all clear. That looks good. I'm looking right now for important stuff like if we have any static ports that we need to uncover. That's like the one I think about the most. It does seem to be good, though. I'm very anxious that I'm missing something. We can check out the plane here, the reservoirs and everything, but this, the reality is this plane is going to be perfect because you can't link it to Neofly, and that's kind of the biggest sadness, is the plane does not age, and the reason why it does not age specifically is because you can't connect the third-party software to it. You can use the internal. Oh, yes. Look at this. We got navigation maps. Let's see. Do we have autopilots? Autopilot. Oh, thank heavens. All right. I might actually be happy for once. Let's go ahead. I've been looking to get into the Grand Caravan for a while, so this is good. All right. So let's go ahead and do cargo. Plenty of room for cargo. So right in the middle, we can do 3,100 pounds. So let's go ahead and slap in 2019. We'll just even it out along here. So we'll go 1,000 pounds. Well, 1,000 pounds. Let's do 500 pounds. Doesn't really matter. Let's do load. Still well within our 20 MAC. We're missing 499 pounds. So let's go here. And let's go 499 pounds. Interesting that it says our total mass is too heavy. And yet we are balanced out at 2,359 pounds. So it is warning us of a total mass where something's wrong, but I don't exactly understand what is wrong. We're going to go for it anyway, because everything does match up. Now, what doesn't match up is that we're supposed to be a KMOD. KMER? What is going on here? Why are we at KMER? When I need to be a KMOD. So Unfortunately, I'm going to have to reprogram this for a second. Kmod to KMER. Weird. Okay, ramp small. That makes more sense.
I know it's going to be a good day when my favorite pilot is working.
Gonna have to reprogram all that again.
Pilot from dispatch. Please stand by.
Standing by. Maybe second time's a charm, right? We are now at the right airport. That's a good start. Clear off the pitot tube. There we go. No sensors underneath or anything like that? That's crazy. I feel like there's some kind of sensor that I'm missing. Because on
You are clear to start your engine.
another plane, you got your pitot not your pitot tubes, but you have your static ports, and your static ports are pretty important as far as I can tell. But it looks like we got it. So let's go ahead and get in and load up. Actually, here's a curiosity. Can I step out here and load up my plane and see it adjust? I think that'd be cool to see. I'm just curious. So let's go ahead and go here. Cargo. We're going to go ahead and put 500 pounds here. 500 pounds here. And 500 pounds here. Let's just see what happens to the plane. Here we go. Definitely set down a little lower. That's cool. We're missing 689 pounds. Let's go ahead and do another 500 pounds here. Not much change there. Now we're missing 189. Let's go 189. If there was movement, it was very minimal. All right, now we are ready to cross the board. Like I said, unless I'm missing a sensor somewhere. All right. I also like that my EDF or EFB is on this side, where I can view my navigation and such. All right. I guess we're figuring out how to start this beast now. So let's go ahead and start with... anything up above? Oxygen. Fuel. Standby flat motor. Interesting. Okay. I do think I'm going to like this plane a million times more. Okay. Battery on. Starter on. Ignition on. Avionics on. Don't think we're going to need that. That looks promising. Bus starter. Low vacuum. Where's our vacuum port? Trip on. Let's see. Still missing a vacuum issue. Where's our vacuum protocol? Cabin heat, temperature. Test switch for fire. I don't think it's going to be one of these, but I'm doing it anyway. Standby alternator power. Backup on primary. Wing heat. I don't need these. I don't know what's going on, so we're going to go ahead and turn all my lights on. So we know our vacuum's no good, so we got to figure that out. This is called sheer desperation. Let's go ahead and turn this off. That way I can see around it. That's our lights. That's our parking brake. Inertial separator. AC master. Don't really care about that. Our vacuum still sucks. Our oil pressure sucks. Okay, so we need to go. Fuel conditioner is there. A little bit of fuel. Hey now. Now, here's another question. Emergency power. So we're going to be a little bit above idle. Okay, so I'm just going to do everything from down below on here. All right, fuel oil shutoff, aileron trim, carb heat, firewall shutoff, aileron trim, rudder trim, emergency power, bleed air heat, cabin heat. Boy. Alright, so now we got low voltage, which would be an alternator situation. Starter. Come on now.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting.
I don't
Taxi
think
to
so.
the runway and take off.
Alright, let's see if any of this comes to life. Low voltage means our generator on. Let's put that back to norm. Ooh, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. We're still meeting low voltages, which means somewhere on here there should be an alternator. Ignition is off. Motor starter on is on normal. Fuel pump. Alternator is on reset. Battery, we gotta leave that one on. I think that's kind of important. Static air. Alright, my question is, will the voltage go away? I think if we run our engine long enough, it'll go away, but I want to verify that since we're not in a rush. Hi there, Coleslaw. I don't like that my voltage hasn't come up yet. So where's our alternator? It's this guy. Reset. Trip. Ignition on norm. Well, I'm hoping that when I'm flying, my voltage will come up, because I don't think it's going to change. And I really want to get in the air. I want to get flying. So let's go ahead and tune to ground. part straight out.
For information, India 0200 Zulu. Wind tree 17 at Niner. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature tree 2.6. Altimeter
Dang it, they want me to go to runway 28R again, which is all the way across the airport. Ah! All right, let's see if we can get this bird to fly a little better than the previous. Oh, my Lantis. Oh, my.
all aircraft read back hold short instructions.
No!
Contact you have India.
Modesto ground.
What?
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Ready to taxi. North departure with India. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Taxi to and hold short of runway 28 right using taxiway cross runway 10 right Alpha cross runway 28 right Bravo. Contact tower.
I am so incredibly displeased right now. What on earth? Okay, the fact that we're tilting like that.
Runway 28 right using taxiway cross runway 10 right Alpha cross runway 28 right Bravo. Legacy
All right,
Air India
why
Mike
are
Sierra
we
8022.
going so fast? My throttle is all the way back. I am riding my brake. Okay, I'm gonna try and pull back my mixture a little then. Because I cannot maintain. I'm getting targeted by my notification system that I'm doing over 30 knots. There we go. Mix might have been the answer. Sheesh. Once again, the voltage is bugging the heck out of me too, but deal with it. I'm dealing with it. You can deal with it. Or you can scram, one or the other. It's fine. Boy, I'm riding these rudders hard. And we do have wind at 11 knots at 317 degrees. So this will be a challenging takeoff. I am not doing that. We are totally just going to go down to the edge of the runway. And I don't care if I'm on a runway right now doing this. I already went down one runway. What's the difference? Alright, turning off my systems here. Technically, I'm on the runway they want me to take off on, so I'm just going to go down to the end here and hang a Louie, and off we go. Flaps 10 degrees. Boy, I hope this bird flies better than the Pleiades. Alright. Slow down enough where my nose isn't going to tip over on me when I do this. Excellent. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Race is on. Wish me luck. We'll figure out the very annoying beeping once we're in the air. Oh no, we won't. Oh no, we won't. What on earth? What on earth?
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe.
What on earth is going on? Oh man. I can't even make sense of what just happened.
500.
Okay. We're still dealing with low volts. Right now, we're also overkill on RP. All right, that's chilled out, but still we're dealing with low voltage. So I have a major issue to solve here in a second. All right, I got to get this plane flying in automatic, and then once that's happening, then I can start solving my annoying beep situation here. Okay. Let's see. Oh man, this is frustrating. Okay, so we need to go with navigation. Let's go here. We're going to go ahead and then apply those settings. We need to do flight director on. Okay, get the nose down because we're going to die. Altimeter needs to be at, we can do 2,500 feet with VS on. Climbing at 300 feet per minute, that's fine. Where's my autopilot? So everything's on except for autopilot. Where's the autopilot button? Just need autopilot. Where is it? Usually it'd be sitting right here. There it is. Yaw dampener on as well. Thank heavens. Oh! Alright. What a royal pain. I am probably not going the right direction. I am not going the right direction. Pull back on my... Is it my mix or my RPM? It's my throttle. Throttle had to come back. That's what it was. Okay. We are resetting for KMER. So let me go ahead and program that in. And then I'll figure out what on earth I do about the low voltage. Okay. M. This is such pain. E. R. There we go. All right. And let's go ahead and make sure our CDI is on GPS. Retarget our system. Tell it that we want to do it through nav. And there we go. We are correcting now for the proper... Oh, my Lantis. Okay. What on earth is going on with this low voltage? Battery on normal. What? Are we doing good? Alright, we're still doing good. So batteries in normal. Reset. No, what is this one? Fuel pump in normal. We don't need fuel pump. Starter engine. Motor. Starter engine off. We don't need that anymore. Ignition, normal. Let's see if that fixes anything. I really don't care to fly forever with that going on. So... usually that's an alternator issue. And so we have our generator. Which is right now set to on. Alternator reset. Can I just turn this off? I don't like that it says low volts. I mean, that is a problem, but at least I shut it off for now. We are flying. We in this situation, we don't really have that far to fly. We only have to go 24 nautical miles, so it's not that bad. What are we at? It says we have 27. Once we get back in our stuff. Landing at 109.5. So let's go nav on CDI 1. 109.5. Send it in. There we go. 109.5 on IMER. Wow, we're actually almost over speed. That's kind of cool. At 170 knots, that's beautiful. So let's go ahead and slow down here. Still don't love this low volt signage here. Flaps are up. Going as fast as we're going, it's not going to take us long to get there. Okay, I think we're in a good enough place where I'm going to go... I like to put my microphone away and just fly, so this will become a very boring live stream. For those who like sticking around and watching flying, well, this is for you. For those looking for entertainment and someone to keep you interested, the channel's changed. I'm not necessarily interested in doing that anymore. So, I'll be back when it's time to land. See you soon. Okay, my friends, 5 nautical miles out from our first attempt at landing the 208B. So we will be overflying the runway here. We can actually see it directly in front of us. We're going to be coming in ILS, though. That's the plan. ILS at 109.5, which we have programmed into locator 1. So we're going to overfly the airport, head the other direction, get ready to land. I'm going to see if we can get in here, so I'm going to go ahead and call them up right now.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022 is 4 miles northwest, 2500 with whiskey to land.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022, power, altimeter 2983, fly left traffic runway tree 1.
Flying left traffic, runway 31, altimeter 2983. India Mike Sierra 8022. We're actually flying on the right side. Don't tell them. Don't be a snitch.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022, did you copy?
8022 copy.
Fly left downwind runway tree 1. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
Got a little ways to go. We are looking at 10 knots at 331 degrees, so that is perfect.
Sierra 8022, wind tree 41 clear to land runway tree 1.
Okay, it's a little different than what we saw.
Clear to land runway tree 1. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
Wind 341 degrees, where we're seeing wind at 312 degrees at 12 knots. If that is the wind, it might not be. I always assumed it was. Let me try turning on our weather barbs. Wind at NOAAs. And I don't know if there's a way to turn off what I'm assuming is our weather condition. All right, we are getting near our ILS approach. So in a second here, we're going to hang a Louis and get ready to head into ILS. We are flying with the heading mode. We're going to turn on approach mode. Localizer is ready. I do want to get above our band here, so let's go ahead and turn away from the band just a little bit so we can kind of give ourselves room to swing around. And I went the wrong way, which is odd because that's not what I expected at all. I do think this plane will be a lot easier to land than some of my other planes. Landing with ILS will definitely be helpful, at least for the first 1 or 2, or 3, or 20, or 30. Okay. We're now going to begin our approach into final. I do find it very interesting how the navigation is... Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, keep turning, baby. So I'm going to try and slow my airspeed down a little bit because we will be coming in rather quickly. I would like to see us get our flaps down fairly quickly as well as we get into our band. Localizer still on. I do like seeing our glide slope that we are basically on mark. Alright, localizer has locked in. Glide slope has not yet. We're going to keep bringing down our speed, and against all odds, I'm going to go ahead and do 10 degrees of flaps. In fact, I might even go as crazy as 20 degrees of flaps. Well, not quite yet, but soon. Runway's dead ahead of us. Beautiful. Nice. And we're on the glide slope. Looking at 140. We're going to go ahead and add an extra degree of flaps. Going all the way. We're doing really well. So far, everything lines up nicely. Torque is nice and low. We can actually add some torque. Doing 125, which is not unreasonable. Looks like our landing maneuvers are around 95. Still have no idea what Y is. I know R is for rotate. Gotta look it up again. I did look it up before. Let's see if AI can tell me. I'm looking at Flight Simulator and I'm seeing my speed. There is a Y, an R, a G, and something else. What does the Y mean?
Simulator airspeed indicator signifies the caution range, where you should only fly in smooth air.
That doesn't help me at all. Caution range, you should only fly with this speed range in smooth, undisturbed air and never make abrupt control movements. The never exceeded speed flying past the speed risks structural damage, which doesn't make any sense because R is rotate. Okay, let's go ahead and disconnect our autopilot and get ready to bring her in by ourselves here.
500.
Okay, our trim just went crazy. Fixing that. Like that we got the 500 call out. That's nice. Okay, our speed's 108. I'd like to see that a little lower. We are dealing with some wind right now. It's pushing us. Not too bad, though. Slowing down a bit more. Manning the trim like a beast. We are up pretty high, though, unfortunately, so I'm going to get the nose down and throttle down by quite a bit. Hopefully I can do a flare here to make up for the extreme speed, but usually this is not a good move, and I think I am carrying some rather fragile cargo. So I'm just going to rock in on our... Alright, full speed out. Oh! 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 Okay. Alright, I literally have no speed. So we need to be landing. Oh.
That was a harder landing than we like to see, pilot.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. What are we doing?
From dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
I hated everything about that. I am hating everything about how easy it is to tip this thing.
For Legacy Air India, Mike Sierra 8022.
Woo! I did not enjoy that. I am moving way too fast. Stop doing that. I get it. You're a big girl. You need to be babied, but still. I'm going to park right here in the grass. I am so scared right now. Oh, my word. Okay.
Transporter. Disembarkation in progress. Stand by.
I am turning everything off so we can start from scratch. Because I just don't understand what caused this to go as bad as it did. I mean, yes, I get it. I'm not a good pilot. But still, that's not the point. And we still have one more hop to do.
Transporter from dispatch. The cargo is on board. You are cleared to taxi to the runway and take off.
All right, let's try a reboot. So, here we go. So, alternator, fuel pump, battery on, avionics on, ignition on, starter, start. Right? Mix, in. Throttle, just a touch in past idle. Prop RPM, non-existent. Shouldn't she be starting right now? Let's go ahead and pull her back and start. Fuel pump, normal. On? No. So, she's not booting. Okay, off. Bleed air, off. Cabin heat, all that jazz, off. So I bet you she's not going to reboot for us. Especially since the avionics aren't coming on. Hello. Okay. That seems slightly positive. Let's give it some fuel. It doesn't feel like we're starting, though. No, we're not starting. That blade's just spinning for giggles. If I do this and I go full throttle, I should be going crazy right now. That's just spooling to help us start. But the fact that the avionics aren't coming on, that tells me something serious.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Alright, that's an interesting sound. Okay, so why don't we have avionics? There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and kill this. Let's see if that works. That seems good. Still aligning. Would love to see about us getting this last hop, but I'm still waiting for alignment. Keep wings level. Good. So we're going to be flying now to KMRY. Alright, KMRY is programmed in. Tune to ground. Taxi for takeoff. Part straight out.
Ground. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022 with Whiskey. Request taxi to the active. Departing straight out.
No word, so I am paying attention to planes in the area, and because they're not announcing what runway I'm taking off from, I'm just going to check the vicinity, and I might just run down the runway, hang a U in, take off, because that's the problem with Flight Simulator, unfortunately. Pull back. Pull my mix back because I think that's kind of what causes the plane to lurch forward. Literally have throttle and prop RPM pulled completely back, and yet here we are going this fast down the taxiway. That's a bit excessive. We're just going to go ahead and take off from runway 31. Looks like that would be, for the most part, taking off into the wind. If that is correct. I haven't checked ATIS. KMER Castle is saying at this moment that I have no clue where the weather is. Huh. It's not showing the weather. Alright, we're near the end of the runway. Start using our brakes. Yep, this is it. There's 2 entries in, so we'll go to the second one. Technically the first one. Oh, I missed it. Alright, hang on. Yank around here. Alright, let's see if our AI calls the airport. If it does not, then we're taking off on our own. So here we go, we're going to stop here. Nothing's happening, so I'm going to go ahead and check my radar. Nothing happening on radar. So we're going to go ahead and take off without permission. Thank you, Flight Simulator, for not being the very best at comms. Flaps 10 degrees. And we're ready for takeoff. full RPM, full throttle. Trim up went way too fast. Compensating just in case. That happened way too quick.
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe.
I'd like to say I will, but the trim on this is rather painful. No crud.
Tower, Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022 is 1 mile southeast, 500 with whiskey to land.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Tower. Altimeter 2983. Fly left traffic runway tree 1.
See, why is it requesting a landing clearance?
Fly left downwind runway tree 1. Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022.
We're going to cancel our landing intentions because I never wanted that in the first place.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Cancel landing intention.
Legacy Air India Mike Sierra 8022. Your cancellation is received.
Okay. All right, so let's fix our trim because wind is pushing us a little bit to the side here. This flight is going to be 78 nautical miles, so this is going to be a bit of a trek in comparison to the 24 that we had in the previous. Let's go ahead and get our airport set up with autopilot, starting with our altimeter, which we're going to set to 3,500. Let's go ahead and tell it that we're going to do navigation as our main control. Our flight 300 feet per second to climb. And let's go ahead and trigger it so it can begin its effort. Alright, autopilot is on. Flaps are up. No gear to pull up because that just stays down. Turn on vertical speed, which is going to allow us then that control to climb, and we're going to say at 500 feet per second. We are doing 160 knots, which is great. And I think we're going to be planning to land on runway 28 left. So I'd like to set up Charlie, C-H-R-L-E, as my main area to come into. So let's go ahead and program that now. So let's start with... C-H-R-L-E. Let's go ahead and enter. Activate. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of course correction from our GPS now. So we start heading directly to Charlie. Excuse me. The benefit of going directly to Charlie on my EFB that you guys can't see, it's on a separate computer. My EFB is going to put me on Charlie, which is a waypoint. Charlie is in direct alignment with our landing point on 28 left. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and program our nav 1 to 110.7. Alright, nav 1 is on 110.7 right now. We should be good to go there. Let's go ahead and change CDI right now to our GPS. Once again, program it in to see if it clicks in. It is clicking in. And we're going to make sure that navigation mode is activated. Right now it's not. There we go. So we should now be following GPS to Charlie. Now, considering that we're 78 nautical miles out, it does look like we're going to be flying over those mountains in front of us. So let's be proactive and set our altitude to, I like to go around 9,000 feet. Uh, 9,000, 9,500 usually-ish. So let's see if vertical sync is on. It is, so let's go ahead and tell it to climb and see how far we can push it. Let's go for 1,000 feet per minute, but let's keep a close eye on our speed and our torque. We can also bring in some prop input on the torque. So if we go full throttle right now just to make up some speed, we can bring back or bring down our torque by pushing more prop RPM in. And then we'll compensate with our throttle. And technically, if we do this right, we should see ourselves holding a pretty reasonable speed. 143 nautical miles or knots is nothing to laugh at. So I'm pretty reasonably pleased with that. Okay, now we wait for the long game. We are 55 nautical miles out, which isn't that bad, but I'm going to go ahead and take a step away, and I'll be back in a bit. We have a long way to go before we get to our landing point, so I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, my friends, we did some sim rate nonsense. We are somewhere above the airport here. We are 10 nautical miles out. Well, we're not above the airport. What we are is we're at Charlie, which is a waypoint that we're going to be hitting here in a second. So next up, we're going to be go ahead, and we're going to line up with ZILKU, which is the start of the what I like to call the band in for landing. So let's go ahead and program that in here. While we're at it as well, since we are at 9,000 feet, let's go ahead and start bringing this nonsense down. Let's set this now to somewhere in the ballpark. Let's start at 4,000 feet, because it will take us a while to get down there. Vertical sync is now on. And we're going to go ahead and tell it that we want to start diving at 1,000 feet per minute. And then while we're at it here, let's go ahead and program in ZIL. Come on now. It's barely sticking to that I. L. Alright, let's get our speed down, because that's going to annoy the plane to death. ZIL. Here we go. And then we need KU. K and U. There we are. And let's go ahead and apply that. Plane's going to start landing, leaning for that. Zooming out to verify. Yes, it is turning towards ZILKU. We are hopefully within the mountain range for this. We will be... Oh, man, what a view! Do you see this view? This is I mean, Flight Simulator, buddy, boy. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Flaps 10 degrees. Insanity. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's go ahead and get our nav system ready to rock and roll. So CDI is now going to be on Localizer 1. Localizer 1 now needs to have our approach selected. Right now we're looking at no glide slope at this moment as we get lined up. We are on track, though. Well, we are definitely going to be jumping through some clouds. I am concerned not so much about the cloud layer, but about the height of the mountain peaks as we get in here, because yes, there is a high point that we'll be flying over to get into our landing area. That does have me a bit concerned. So, I am unaware, frankly, of what that total height is. I'm still watching our glide slope just to play it safe, but frankly there is no safe way to handle this as we sit at 5,800 feet. 39 is the goal, but 3,900 feet might put us a little too close to these mountains. So I'm leaning towards staying a little higher. Right now we're at 5,600. Let's go ahead and put this at 4,800 and pray that we're not going to have an issue as we get in here. Double checking our flaps at the moment. I do not remember where flaps are on this plane. Is this it? Yeah, flip flappers. So we're already at 10% or 1 of 2 notches. So we're sitting in our space as it is. See, look at this. We are so close over the land. If there is any kind of mountain peaking above that, then we're going to get toasted, and that does have me very concerned, because that's only at maximum 1,000 feet underneath us. Let me go ahead and verify while we're at it. As long as it's up to date, KMRY, looking at our pressure, is at 29909. So let's go ahead and set 29909 and see if that... oh, wow, it actually brings us down lower. That unnerves me ever so slightly. All right, localizer is on as we start diving into these clouds. The end of the world is nigh. All right. Let me zoom out here so I can keep an eye on this. So, Zilko is our connection. Once we actually hit Zilku, or Z-I-L-K-U, Zulu, India, Lima, K. What's Kilo? U is Uncle? I don't remember what U is. You see, look at this. As long as that's not in a mountain range that I'm about to smack into, and that's just cloud base, I'm okay with that. But still, right now we should be smacking into our ILS approach. Any second now, we should be seeing our localizer click in. Localizer is in as we prep for landing. This is going to get us in line for runway 28 left. We are stalling. I'm going to go ahead and get some throttle on. See if we can save it. We may not be able to. Let's get the nose down. Autopilot has disconnected. We're going to try and reapply it. Get the airspeed up. See if it'll course correct. It looks like it's doing it. All right, we saved it. Good. Looks like we're okay. 117. I am going to bring our throttle back just a touch because we do need to get that speed down. We're halfway into our band for landing. GPS can see it. We certainly can't as we bring in that ILS approach. So I'm just going to be watching our throttle explicitly right now, and also keeping an eye on our torque and our RPMs. Right now we're not looking too miserable on RPMs technically. It's interesting. I can pull that prop RPM back and nothing happens on that prop RPM. But if you look at torque, there is a blue area in torque that we can shoot for. So I am trying to be very cautious here. We are on direct alignment with the runway according to our ILS. So interesting to be this high up, though. And an important thing to note is we do not have a glide slope, so that does have me heavily concerned with the approach turned on. So at this point, I think it would be wise to disconnect, fly this girl in as best we can under autopilot, under hand flight, because I'm not sure we're going to hit this runway in time. So I am going to be flying, in all honesty, by looking at my GPS and trying to fly it in, because yes, this virtual GPS might be the only way that we successfully land. We're going to find out here. And yeah, that is the benefit of the new G1000s. Is, yeah, you absolutely can technically do this. This virtual air, runway option. It seems so fake and so gamey, but the truth is, it's real. All right, we're going full flaps. Really trying to manage that airspeed. There is no glide slope once again. And if we look out, oh, hello. Well, we are well above how we should be right now, which is unfortunate. Literally diving in on the airport. That does not make me feel good in the slightest, as we're at 135 knots. I don't think this is a realistic situation. Why I'm still doing it, I have no idea, so don't judge me. I do think we're going to overfly this runway by a lot.
500.
But I'm willing to give it a shot anyway, because 123 is at least going to let us get level with the runway for a brief second. So let's just see what happens here.
Well,
Oh,
you've
dang.
landed. We'll send maintenance to check the gear after
Oh,
you park.
man. Oh, man. I hate how this plane just
Taxi to
naturally
parking
leans.
and shut down your engine.
I mean, technically, yes, we did land, but everything is wrong. Like, the plane is leaning off kilter. So far, I have not enjoyed flying this plane for the 2 flights we've done. I also love the DA62 because you don't have to manage your RPMs as well as your mixture and things. I know it's a little stupid, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull over here. And park right here for now. I mean, the fact that I landed it is rather impressive. So I have no complaints there. I got to take a little bit of pride in that, but yeah, that was really miserable. All right, let's shut this
Stand
bird
by,
down.
pilot. Cargo unloading.
Okay, technically everything's shut down. Was this plane worth it? That is the real question, because we are looking at a lot of money that we put out to be able to have this plane in our fleet. But it is leaving less to be desired for me personally, and I can probably only blame my...
Transporter. The cargo has been delivered. Nice work. Have
Thank
a nice
you.
day.
Will do, and taking off out of here is going to be pretty sucky in my opinion.
Ready for engine start.
Like the idea of the plane, but I do think there's some pretty serious limitations with the plane that I have to learn. And the DA62 didn't quite bring all that to the table the way that this is. All my pilots need a breather. We did spend an awful lot of money to get this plane, so I do think this is a good time to end this flight, let them get some rest, and then once they've recuperated over the next day, probably the literal day, then we'll be able to get them back in the air and get some more money. For now, that's going to do it for this one. God bless y'all. See you later.